Hi, welcome to the Practice Sports Coaching's YouTube channel. The presentation you're about to watch actually took place live at one of our sessions. So can I use this opportunity to invite you to come and join us? We meet every Tuesday and the details are on the screen. If you like this kind of content, can I encourage you to please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell? That way you'll get notified whenever we release any new content. Let me not take too much of your time. Enjoy today's presentation, and I look forward to seeing you soon. The subject for today, in which we're going to go into practice pods, is an easy one. Now, and it's born out of, or should I say, firstly, it's titled, and the question is, and it's basically born out of something I see on a regular basis. I often see people running and, with a strong desire, looking for solutions, but often they're not very clear on the kind of questions they need answers to. So they find themselves, they put a lot of effort and energy into what they think are solutions, only to discover that even though they've gotten their solutions, they're still stuck. They still don't have a clear pathway. And often it's because we are not very clear when it comes to the questions we are asking. And I know as we get ready to go into 2022, everybody's pumped up, everybody's ready. New year, new beginning, new opportunity. But what makes you so sure that you're not simply going to repeat the mistakes and the errors of 2021? And one of the ways to avoid that is to simply have very clear in your mind the questions you have, so that then will drive the solutions you are seeking for. So in today's session, what we're simply going to be able to do is help you identify and define the questions you need to ask before you begin to pursue solutions. Now, I'm just going to focus on 4 key areas. Now, there's so many different areas you can look at, but I'm going to focus on 4 key areas. This is not going to be a long talk, so there's not a lot of detail in terms of what I want to cover. I want to emphasize why specifically these 4 areas. So firstly, we're going to talk about current challenges. Then we're going to look at needs, opportunities, and finally, support. Now, I'm going to give you flexibility. So when you go into the pods, as long as you have this in the back of your mind, be flexible with it. Focus on the areas you feel will have the greatest impact on the person that you are coaching. So let's talk about challenges. So question number 1, my current challenges are. Now, when you're thinking of challenges, I use the word challenge. I don't know, depending on the country you're in, you might have a different word to use. But when I'm talking about challenge, what I mean is that which you find difficult, demanding, that which stretches you, that sometimes you can't even get your head around. You find it tough, you find it burdensome. And the reason why you need to define your challenges, because challenges can have unexpected outcomes to you as a person, to your business, and to things around you. It could impact your mental health and well-being. Whenever I've got something on my table and I'm finding it overwhelming, I kind of find I struggle to concentrate. I kind of find that it just consumes me. So challenges can affect your mental health and well-being. It can influence your thinking and decision making. One quote, I can't even remember if I can recall this quote properly, but it says something like, "Don't make a long-term decision based on a short-term circumstance," something like that. Because it's so easy to want to jump to a solution because you're overwhelmed by what you're going through. Because your current challenges, it'll influence your thinking, it'll influence your ability to make good quality decisions. It'll determine how you respond to sets of circumstances. Another thing is, it'll affect your motivation. How many of you have just sort of like sat there? I do that all the time. I'm like, something when I'm like really overwhelmed by something, I just sit at my desk and I look at my screen And it's like I'm trying to find the drive, the motivation, trying to find, and sometimes I'm not even clear of what exactly I need to be solving. And because I don't have that clarity, I just find myself sometimes, a little bit demotivated. I need something to come up and pick me up. It can impact your ability to be creative and also affect the relationships you have with other people. It's so easy to take your frustrations out on those that you love or you work with. And that's often because of the challenges you're currently going through. So, my question is, what was your biggest challenge in 2021? How did it impact you? How did it affect you? And how can you make sure that in 2022, you're not repeating those same things? Okay, so let's move on. So the next one is, oh, yeah, being clear of what the root of the problem is allows you to stop firefighting or focusing on the symptoms. So let's move on. So the next question is needs. My needs are, and I'm personalizing all these questions because I need you to own it and go, this is my situation. This is where I am. These are the challenges that I'm facing. So what exactly are needs? A need is something that you need to live a healthy and thriving life. Now, often people will tell us or tell me what they think their need is, but that's not actually what they need. And I wanted to put the definition there because it's so important to bear that in mind, that a need is something you need, not what I need or what you see that I need. It's what you specifically need so that you can live a healthy and thriving life. And everybody's need is different. Some people's needs are boundaries. You might think, man, how can that even be a need? Trust me, for some people, just being able to have boundaries set so that people don't invade your space, so people don't take advantage of you, so that you can be the person that you truly want to be. Somebody once told me and said, listen, all I want in life is that sense of security. If your need is that sense of security and you do not have it, you'll be overwhelmed with worry and concerns that you cannot invest your time and energy into your business. You cannot invest your time and energy into your coaching. For some people, simply having a voice. I have been in places where I have seen people and they feel stifled, they feel shut down, they feel like they don't have a voice. How can you thrive if you don't have a voice? If you're not able to speak up and verbalize and say what is in your heart and actually, have an opinion that is recognized in a room, that's so important. But you have to recognize that's your need. For some people, it's acceptance. I want to be accepted. And often people will change who they are so that people would accept them. But if you change who you are, then you're not really being your true, authentic self, as Lisa would often quote. Being acceptance is something that everybody at some point in their life needs, because it almost like validates you for who you are. Rather than change so that people will find you acceptable, it's about being true to yourself and stepping out and letting those you bring around your circle accept you for who you are. I gotta rush. Things like identity, growth, fulfillment, significance. I mean, the list could go on and on. These are just some examples in terms of your needs. Next one is my opportunities are. This is so important. Now remember, we're talking about questions you need to have clear in your mind. What are your questions? We've talked about challenges, we've talked about needs. Let's talk about opportunities. Now, this is so important. Often in business, what people do is they're almost like chickens. You focus on the challenges, you're pecking around you, you're focusing on all today's challenges. You don't get to think about what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow is just as important as today is, if not more importantly. So what are opportunities? Opportunities can simply be described as anything you see, any opening, any chances you can possibly take advantage, something that you are equipped for. Opportunities are not wishes or dreams. They're things that are realistically possible for you because you have the skill, the passion, or the experience to capitalize on them. Opportunities can include travel, job change, entrepreneurship, new relationships, study. You have to have your mind focused on something that is beyond the now, so that when the opportunities are created, you can easily jump on them, capitalize on it, and so that you can achieve your dreams, your hopes, and your aspiration. Knowing your opportunities allows you to begin to envision and plan and position yourself for the future. Ooh, I'm right on time. Finally, support. This is so important. To me, all of this are very important. Finally, support. The support I need or is, and why is support important? I will be very candid with you. You cannot do everything yourself. You might be the most talented, the most skillful, filled with great abilities and great potential. But I'll be very clear with you, you cannot do everything yourself. At some point on your journey, somebody will need to help you. Somebody will need to promote you. Somebody will need to stand with you. And it's so important that you're clear on the kind of support you want. And all of us, our support is different. Our support is so different. For some people feel, oh, if I could just have the capital, if somebody could just give me the money, I'll make a phenomenal success of a business. Now, you might think money is the support you need, but often you need more than money. And some of the areas in which you need support, yeah, apart from financial, accountability is such an impactful means of support you could get. Somebody to be able to champion you, to support you, to encourage you, for you to be able to give account of what you've done and get some insights as to how you can actually overcome your challenges. Don't underestimate the value of accountability. Another thing, encouragement. Oh my goodness. I have to admit, and I'll say this publicly, one of the best decisions I ever made with the Practice Pods coaching was ask Lisa to join me to lead this group. Such an amazing decision, because I feed off her. Don't mean we always agree. You should be in our meetings. We don't always agree, but there's that encouragement. There's that thing of having somebody by your side going on the journey with you. It's amazing. If you do not have that, you need that. You need somebody to encourage you, to champion you. Some people need mentorship. Some people will need someone to create opportunities or even be part of a network. So the question is, what support do you need? So we're going to go into our pods in a moment. And I got 3 questions. Again, like I said, feel free to make up your own questions or come up. But we're talking about, the questions you need to ask: challenges, needs, opportunity, and support. So question 1, what was your biggest challenge in 2021? And please don't say getting clients. If your biggest challenge in 2021 was getting clients, then that was not your biggest challenge, because behind getting clients are other root issues. I want to go down to the root. Was it that you lacked the confidence to talk to people? Was it that you didn't have the skill or the expertise when it came to marketing? Was it that you didn't have the direction? You didn't know the direction in which you want to go to? So getting clients is a symptom. I want to go to the root to understand what the challenge was in 2021. Question number 2, what is your biggest need to enable you thrive and flourish next year? What do you need? If I was to open a treasure chest of goodies, what would you pick out? And I'm not talking about monetary stuff. I'm not talking about a new car. I'm talking about things you really need. And finally, what support could you benefit from in 2022?